Hello, you're watching QPVN News. I'm Anh Tuấn, and here's the headlines. Military petroleum industry celebrates 70th founding anniversary. Exchange program for young bodyguards of Vietnam and China. OV community plays an active role in high-tech development in Vietnam. According to the Vietnam Ministry of Foreign Affairs, at the invitation of General Secretary of the Communist Party of Vietnam Central Committee PETROLEUM and President Lương Cường, General Secretary of the Communist Party of China Central Committee and President of China Xi Jinping is going to pay a state visit to Vietnam from April the 14th to the 15th. On April the 11th in Hanoi, General Phan Van Giang, Minister of National Defense, attended a ceremony to celebrate the 70th founding anniversary of the military petroleum industry and received the second-class Fatherland Protection Order for its outstanding achievements in training, combat service from 2019 to 2023, contributing to the cause of building socialism and safeguarding the fatherland. On behalf of the Central Military Commission and the Ministry of National Defense, General Phan Van Giang hailed the achievements and great contributions of the officers and soldiers of the military petroleum industry over the past 70 years, while requesting the industry to build and develop in a revolutionary, standardized, streamlined, and gradually modern direction. General Phan Van Giang requested the industry to proactively advise and organize the implementation of the state management function on petroleum work in the military. At the same time, a strategy and plan should be developed to ensure a solid petroleum supply in all situations. On the morning of April the 11th, a delegation of leaders, former leaders, and representatives of agencies and units under the General Staff of the Vietnam People's Army, led by its Deputy Chief, Senior Lieutenant General Phùng Sĩ Tấn, visited the Vietnam Military History Museum. The delegation was introduced to the 6 exhibition themes at the museum, including the early days of building and defending the country, national independence protection from 939 to 1858, the resistant war against French colonialists to gain national independence, 1858 to 1945, the resistant war against the U.S. imperialists, 1954 to 1975, building and defending the country, 1975 to 2024, and the multimedia projection system. After the tour, the delegates suggested ideas to the museums could improve the quality of the exhibition contents and services more thoughtfully. From April the 3rd to the 11th, the General Political Department delegation led by its Vice Chairman, Lieutenant General Trương Thiên Tô, visited Trường Sa Spratly Archipelago and DK1 platforms. The delegation offered incense at the statue of General Võ Nguyên Giáp on Sơn Ca Island, visited cultural works, and held a memorial service for heroic martyrs. At the islands and platforms, the delegation comprehensively inspected all aspects of work, focusing on training and combat readiness activities, the results of party and political work implementation, logistics and technical support, and taking care of the material and spiritual life of soldiers and people on Trường Sa Archipelago and DK1 platforms. Lieutenant General Trương Thiên Tô highly praised the officers and soldiers of the islands and DK1 platforms for successfully carrying out their assigned tasks against all odds. Lieutenant General Trương Thiên Tô also requested the officers and soldiers to continue thoroughly grasp their task and improve training quality while actively developing civil-military solidarity, serving as a solid foundation for fishermen to go offshore. On April the 11th, the exchange program for young officers of the Lạng Sơn Bodyguard Command of Vietnam and young officers of the Guangxi Entry-Exit Border Inspection Station China took place with many meaningful and practical activities. This is one of the events within the framework of the 9th Vietnam-China Border Defense Friendship Exchange Program scheduled for April the 16th and the 17th in Lạng Sơn Province. At the Hữu Nghị International Border Gate, after the welcome ceremony, the young officer delegation planted a youth friendship tree and jointly raised public awareness on both sides of the border. The content focused on key provisions of the Agreement on Land Border Management and the Agreement on Border Gate Management, signed by the governments of Vietnam and China. The same afternoon, the young border guard officers from the two countries participated in a seminar under the theme Loyalty and Comradeship. Presentations at the seminar focused on proposals and recommendations to promote the pioneering and creative role of youth in both countries in successfully fulfilling their assigned tasks, thereby contributing to elevating bilateral relations to new heights. Key ideas included strengthening diplomatic and exchange activities among youth units, expanding the models of messenger friendship and border station twinning and community twinning. Through joint mass dissemination activities, we can build a bridge for mutual learning, allowing young officers of both countries to better understand each other's cultural traditions and legal systems, and to explore ways to strengthen cooperation in border management and transnational crime prevention. At the same time, through outreach efforts, legal concepts can take root in the minds of local people and become behavioral norms that border residents will voluntarily comply with. The exchange program serves as an opportunity to share experiences and strengthen connections between the border management and protection forces of the two countries, contributing to building a peaceful, friendly, stable, cooperative and developing border area. Coming up next, Ministry of Ethnic and Religious Affairs extend Chorchnam Thmei Festival greetings. OV community plays an active role in high-tech development in Vietnam. On the occasion of the Chorchnam Thmei Festival on April the 11th, a delegation of the Ministry of Ethnic and Religious Affairs, led by its Deputy Minister Y Thông, visited and extended wishes to prestigious people, national contributors and poor households of Khmer ethnic group in Chi Ton District, An Giang. Deputy Minister Y Thông extended best wishes to all dignitaries, prestigious people and Khmer ethnic people, wishing them a joyful, healthy, peaceful and happy Chorchnam Thmei Festival and a new year with new joys and victories. On this occasion, the delegation presented gifts to 61 prestigious people of the Khmer ethnic group in Chi Ton, Châu Thành, Thoại Sơn districts and Tịnh Biên town, presented gifts to 50 national contributors and poor households of the Khmer ethnic group in Chi Ton district. In early April 2025, import and export activities at the border gates of Lạng Sơn have been bustling, with around 1,600 vehicles cleared daily. Functional forces stationed at the border gates are intensifying the implementation of professional measures to ensure goods are cleared quickly and safely. To improve clearance efficiency, Customs Sub-Department Region 6 has instructed its units to focus on accelerating administrative procedure reforms and speeding up the clearance process, especially for key export items. Additionally, the units have proactively arranged personnel to work on weekends and public holidays to promptly address any arising difficulties. Border guards at checkpoints have proactively developed plans in case of a sudden surge in import-export vehicle traffic. Experienced officers and soldiers have been assigned to regulate traffic and remain on duty round the clock in congestion-prone areas. As of early April this year, the total import-export turnover through Lạng Sơn has exceeded $18.6 billion, marking a 23% increase over the same period last year. In the latest Business Confidence Index released by Eurocham Vietnam, businesses participating in the survey pointed out a number of areas that need improvement to increase Vietnam's attractiveness to foreign investors, including European businesses. Conducted from March the 10th to the 27th, the Business Confidence Index survey recorded at 64.6 for Q1 2025, reflecting an optimistic but cautious picture of European businesses operating in Vietnam.
In terms of impact, we do not measure really the impact at the moment because the things are changing every day. You see already that President Trump already gave a pause of 90 days, so it is very difficult to measure the impact at this moment. And nevertheless, what we're trying to do is to prepare for the future. What to do, how to address the things with the Vietnamese government.
Specifically in Vietnam, all the feedback that I've heard so far from European companies is cautiously optimistic. European companies do not invest in Vietnam primarily to export to the US. Most of them are producing for the Vietnamese domestic market.
The recently published Eurocharm White Paper 2025 suggested a number of recommendations to maintain Vietnam's competitiveness and deepen its integration with the EU. Businesses suggested a number of areas for improvement to increase Vietnam's attractiveness to foreign investors, with infrastructure development being considered a top priority. In addition, businesses also highlighted the need to streamline administrative procedures. These priorities show that European businesses expect more improvements to cement their long-term confidence. The term "the era of national growth" not only implies the aspiration of the Vietnamese people to rise up, but also affirms the will to be self-reliant and the strength of the great national unity bloc in the course of building and safeguarding the country. In that process, the overseas Vietnamese community has a role to play. Among them, there are those who have been making efforts to bring modern foreign technologies to Vietnam, helping promote the process of industrialization and modernization of the country. Vietnamese people have the aptitude to do science and technology. In the science and technology sector around the world, there are leading experts who are Vietnamese. Therefore, I believe in the human potential that enables Vietnam to do a good job in this field. Dr. Nguyễn Duy Lân, who had worked for Microsoft for 8 years and owns 9 patents in security technology, is positive about potential for science and technology development in Vietnam. And he himself, after years working at Microsoft Research in the US, decided to quit this job to start a business with some of his colleagues. They together found Veramin company specializing in high-end network security products. Now, he has become a bridge to bring high-tech applications to Vietnam. We invest in developing cybersecurity products and AI applications in maintaining cybersecurity, which helps detect and respond to cyber attack incidents, and I will continue to participate in researching, consulting, and training on high-tech for important policies and projects in Vietnam. Witnessing the outstanding development of digital technology in his homeland, Vietnam, Dr. Nguyễn Duy Lân believes that the country can become a powerhouse in this field, and overseas Vietnamese intellectuals like him play an active role in the process of building policies and implementing major projects in Vietnam. I feel positive about the country's new policies and guidelines on technology development, including Resolution 57 or the call of General Secretary Tô for OV to bring modern science and technology to the country. Then, I would try to devote my experiences and knowledge accumulated for years working abroad to Vietnam and joined the effort to make the best products and services in Vietnam, as well as contribute ideas and provide training on technology for important projects in Vietnam. This is the end of the QPVN News today. Remember to watch our news again at qpvn.vn. Thank you for watching and goodbye for now.